By the time I hit my 50s, I'd learned a few things, like how family is precious. Work can always wait. And 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles. Not everyone at risk will develop it, but I did. The painful, blistering rash disrupted my life for weeks. Don't learn about your shingles risk the hard way. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today. Sponsored by GSK.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Media coverage of the murder of 18-year-old college student Sheridan Gorman. Why is it when the suspect is a migrant and illegal, there is so little media attention? Even the White House taking notice of this. Dominic Carter here with you this hour. We're taking your calls from around the country. 800-848-9222. Clearly on the defensive. Curtis Sliwa responding to GOP criticism after that comedy skit here in New York with the city's socialist mayor. Sliwa was the Republican candidate for mayor, and he says the skit was all about the cats, and that is it. But here in New York, city Republican donors are so upset at the Republican candidate for mayor, there's talk of them wanting their donations back. And a huge win for victims of terrorism today. 11 years after entry of judgment, a $655 million verdict against the Palestinian Liberation Organization may be enforced. The case is a procedural mess, or it has been, but it serves as an example where it can lead to results. Bottom line, time to collect, and it may play a major role in curbing some of these terrorist attacks, or at least we can hope so. We have a lot to get to this hour, and let's start with the case of 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman from Westchester County, New York, attended college in Chicago, shot in the back of the head, a random incident. She was with her girlfriends in the back of her head by an illegal. And the White House, I want you to listen to Carolyn Levitt, the White House even taking notice of media coverage.
Attention, this is the media coverage of the case of Sheridan Gorman. You have ABC News has spent 1 minute and 19 seconds between 2 days when this case was first alerted. You have CBS, 2 minutes and 1 second. You have NBC, 23 seconds spent on the life of a young, beautiful American woman whose life was taken short by an illegal alien who should have never been here in the first place when we are in the wants to defund the agency that is responsible for protecting Americans. I think her life was worth more than 23 seconds on cable television, and I think the people in this room have a responsibility to report on cases like this because it just exemplifies why the president believes so strongly in deporting illegal aliens.
And that's a valid point. Who can argue against that? 800-848-9222. I don't want this entire hour to become about this subject, so I may only take 1 or 2, maybe 3 max calls on this. Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate for mayor of New York City, in which he's facing a whole lot of criticism, and this hour he's on the defensive. Republican donors are so livid at him that there's talk of them asking for their donations back over the weekend at a charity show here in New York City that's put on by political reporters, in which the mayor gets to respond at the end. It's almost like the Washington Correspondents' Dinner. And so the socialist mayor, the 34-year-old mayor, Zohran Mamdani, performs. And in one of the skits that was taped, you had Curtis Sliwa appearing with the mayor. And Republicans are livid. This is what he had to say here in New York on a local news channel tonight. New York won.
I was accused of cat collusion with the mayor. One single item that we agree on. As you know, the Wall Street Journal did a story about the mayor and his wife. They're going to bring a cat into Gracie Mansion. But for the mayor, he has to take 6 shots because he's allergic. I said, this is outstanding. Because you know, with me and my wife, Nancy, all cat lives matter. The president really drilled me, in the campaign. What, he's going to bring cats into Gracie Mansion? Yes, Mr. President. People love animals, whether they happen to be Democrats, Republicans, or independents.
And that's called spin, spin, spin. Curtis Sliwa continued.
So if the president of the United States texts and phone calls Zoran on a regular basis, and they agree to disagree on everything else, but they want to build housing in New York, and then John Catsimatidis goes to City Hall, has a meeting with him for now. This is the guy who led the billionaires to say, we're out of here, and now we want to help them. But I do a video with him, and somehow I'm the bad guy.
Well, the only thing I can tell you is that the relationship between the president and the mayor, they are elected officials. As far as Mr. Catsimatidis, the owner of this network, the Red Apple Audio Networks, I am one of his employees. I am not his spokesman. I can't speak for him. But he is a major leader in the city of New York. So that warrants him meeting with the new mayor. They must work with each other. What's your reason, Mr. Sliwa? You're supposed to be his rival that ran against him in the campaign. Let me state this another way. The other candidate in the race, that is Andrew Cuomo. Could you see Cuomo doing a skit with Mamdani? It's never going to happen. It would never, ever happen. 800-848-9222. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. I'm thinking about the Sunday shows and so on. He appeared on ABC. A lot of you ask about the objectives against Iran and media reports and so on. This is what the Secretary of State had to say.
This operation, okay, and that's what this is, it's about very specific objectives. The president laid them out on the first night of the operation. I'll repeat them to you now because I hear a lot of talk about we don't know what the clear objectives are. Here they are. You should write them down. Number 1, the destruction of their Air Force. Number 2, the destruction of their Navy. Number 3, the severe diminishing of their missile launching capability. And number 4, the destruction of their factories so they can't make more missiles and more drones to threaten us in the future. All of this so that they can never hide behind it to acquire a nuclear weapon. That was our objective from the beginning. That remains our objective now. We are on pace and, in fact, ahead of schedule on some of those things, and we are going to achieve those things in a number of weeks, not in a number of months.
Sounds like a clear objective to me. 800-848-9222. One good thing, or at least certainly for them, TSA workers were paid Monday, and that's a good thing. Hopefully it will continue.
We definitely sense a lighter mood among the TSA workers. The actual pay, just the prospect of TSA pay, that has brought an improved start to the week for travelers across the country. We are hearing from these TSA workers that, yes, they have gotten their paychecks for the last 2 missed pay periods.
And that from a news account. And radio talk show host Charlamagne Tha God, that's what he's known as. He is even admitting that ICE in airports is actually working.
When I flew out of LaGuardia Friday, I didn't see no TSA agents. ICE was doing everything.
And how was it? How was your experience?
I mean, they were great, to be honest with you. Like, to be honest with you, like they were. And that for that particular terminal, I was flying out of LaGuardia. I forgot what terminal it was, but yeah, they were being extra nice, like Chick-fil-A workers. I was saying to myself, I'm like, there is no way in hell this is the same ICE agents that was on the streets of places like Minnesota with the mask on. Like, they not wearing masks, like they being super nice. I think it's a psyop, okay, for the midterms, right? Because if you put them in the airports and they're super nice and they're helpful and they got things running efficiently, when he says we're going to have them at the polls in November, nobody going to think twice about it.
Well, I'll do another myself. That's what happens when you don't have the threat of your life against you and people protesting against you and people throwing bottles and rocks at you and screaming at you. You can take the mask off and you can be civil. And that's what happens. There's TSA there as well. But out in the street, it was on ice, baby, with no backup from local authorities. Let's start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's begin with Jay in New Jersey. Jay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, good evening, Dominic. Every time Curtis Sliwa speaks, he proves more and more now how much of a, megalomaniac he is. He's a narcissist beyond belief. And he's putting out this defense now that John Catsimatidis met the mayor. John Catsimatidis didn't run against him as the Republican, and that's something that Curtis obviously doesn't realize. Curtis Lee was supposed to be his opponent, and Curtis instead saw himself as running a show. That he was running a show for New York City. He was swindling them into thinking that he was actually a serious candidate. In reality, all he was doing was stroking his own ego. So I think that the federal government absolutely must look into this. There should be subpoenas thrown out all over the place, because what Curtis Sliwa did was swindled New York City into thinking they had an illusion of choice when they really didn't. And it's a disgrace, and his complete unawareness of what's going on and what it looks like just goes to show of what a bad person this is.
Thank you, Jay, for the call. Let's go to Robert in Brooklyn, line 2. Robert, what's on your mind?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I remember like a week before the election calling you up, practically crying on your program, begging Curtis Sliwa to leave because I knew he was going to split the vote. And President Trump had no choice but to tell everyone to vote for Cuomo. And then you have some TDS people who are Trump deranged people who then spited Trump and voted against Cuomo and voted for Mamdani. I can never forgive Sliwa for what he did. Actually, I left after about 10 years in the Republican Party. I switched to the Democrat Party because the election is usually determined, especially in New York City, in the primary, the Democrat primary. So I left the Republican after 10 years. Join the Democrat Party, not because I like them. They're antithetical to almost everything I stand for, but because the Democrats, especially in New York City, even New York State, they determine who runs the city and the state. Now, just one other thing I just wanted to point out. The Save America Act, President Trump, demanded that the Republicans get it through the Senate. Either they do away with the filibuster or they do a standing filibuster. Now, a standing filibuster is a pain in the butt, literally, because then you have to have the Democrats, they're going to filibuster, and then the Republicans, at the second they're done with their filibuster, they have to immediately vote, and these 80, 90-year-old senators have to be present so they could rush in to vote. And these guys, they don't want to do the job, and it's a shame on them. They should be codifying all of President Trump's executive orders, especially the Save America Act, which demands proof of citizenship and ID. It's just outrageous. And to add insult to injury, so not only did he take a recess, not only did he do that, but then he had the nerve to do some sort of technically they're in session. So Trump, his recess appointments, Trump doesn't get even a recess appointment. So
I hear you, Robert. I hear you, Robert. I got to take a break. It's called politics. We may not like it, but it is what it is. I support the SAVE Act. I don't know what's going to happen ultimately. Time for a break, folks. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm not an actor, just a guy living with prostate cancer. My wife and I face each day head on. We asked my doctor about Xtandi enzalutamide.
Xtandi 40 milligram tablets treats men with prostate cancer that has spread to other parts of the body and responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache.
Visit Xtandi.com to watch my story.
Hey there, it's me, John Stamos, in partnership with Cologuard. And a little birdie told me you're over 45. Listen, that's not old. It's really not. But it's an important age. If you're at average risk, that's when you start screening for colon cancer. And look, it's okay to be nervous, but it's not okay to ignore your own health. It's time to see if the Cologuard test can be an option for you to get screened. All right, I'm glad we had this little chat.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And I am looking at my Twitter, at my X, at Dominic TV, and Jimmy Fontanez of Staten Island. You are correct. It is now official. Trump International Airport in Palm Beach, Florida. And he says, woohoo. And I say the same thing to you, Jimmy. I can't wait to fly there again and actually get to see it myself. You listen to this program, you know I am not letting go of coverage of the case of 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman. I just think it's horrible what happened to this young lady. That could have been anybody's child. And enough is enough with these illegals. I want you to listen to this timeline that was filed the other day from C.B. Cotton of Fox News. It's a good one, putting this entire case into perspective.
So today, Loyola University Chicago freshman Sheridan Gorman will be laid to rest in a private funeral followed by a community vigil. And this all comes on the heels of her accused killer's first court appearance. Here's the suspect, Jose Medina. DHS says he's in the country illegally from Venezuela. He appeared in court virtually yesterday because he's battling tuberculosis. The judge ordered that he remain in jail until his trial. And while this is what his defense attorney wanted because she has concerns about his deportation, it appears the judge made his decision more on a matter of safety. The judge said, quote, "It is difficult to imagine a greater threat than someone who hides himself and then hides in a random place and a largely deserted beach with mask on, waiting for their prey," end quote. In the early morning hours of March 19th, Chicago police say Medina ambushed Sheridan and a group of friends who were on a Chicago lakefront trying to catch a glimpse of the northern lights. Medina allegedly shot Sheridan as she was trying to run away. In court yesterday, Medina's attorney says her 25-year-old client suffers a brain injury after being shot in the head years ago, and she showed this photo showing a divot where part of her client's skull was removed.
He is missing a portion of his brain. He cannot read, he cannot write.
In a lengthy statement, Sheridan's family members said they heard a call for compassion for the suspect yesterday, and they said they understood that, but they added, quote, "Compassion cannot replace accountability." They also said, quote, "This is about refusing to normalize the kind of loss that has been forced upon our family. It is about insisting that lives like Sheridan's, full of promise, full of possibility, are protected with the seriousness they deserve." The suspect is due back in court on April 15th. Sheridan was just months away from finishing her freshman year.
And the number to reach me right now, 800-848-9222. Let's go to Ben in Brooklyn. Ben, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, I just want to say thank you, man, for all you do to save, to keep our republic. safe, whatever. Yeah, keep up the good work.
Well, thank you. That's kind of you to say. Hey, Ben, let me ask you a question. So when you're looking at the world of news, right, the issues around you, what's important to you right now? There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer.
Okay, I'm a Christian, pro-life, born again. The thing that's important to me is the issue of life. Because, like, we can go into billions and trillions of dollars of debt. We can get that back. You kill a life, that's not coming back. So being pro-life, that's the main thing for me.
Fair enough, Ben. Thank you for the telephone call. Folks, to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222. Time for a break, and we are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, a big win for victims of terrorism today. Years after entry, you may recall, going back years, of the judgment, the $655 million verdict against the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Well, now it may actually be enforced, and that's a good thing. So this has been a case of a procedural mess, but at the end of the day, the Supreme Court, a lower court's judgment was reinstated, and based on a Supreme Court finding that the legislation on which the jurisdiction was based is constitutional. So they may be able to enforce, go get the money. Hopefully this will take a bite out of terrorism. With me now, and we're taking your live calls, folks, as always, 800-848-9222. With me now, the man with his burgundy hoodie on tonight. Is that burgundy?
You could say that. It's
Ron
red.
Burgundy, like the newscaster. I mean, you got all these lines. You got a line from Ron Burgundy?
I wasn't really that into Ron Burgundy. I never
really?
thought. You know what? I saw the movie the first time, like when it came out, and I go, "This movie's not good."
You know what, Blaze? You and I went to a premiere with HBO, right? And all of these TV anchors were there with us watching it, right?
Right.
And I was like, this movie's awful.
That's what I thought.
But after I started watching it on television, on the the HBOs and so on, then it got funny to me.
Yeah, that was the same thing. My experience exactly was that when I first saw the movie, I didn't think it was that good. I was like, what's this big deal about this Ron Burgundy? And then watching it over again, I said, oh, now for some reason I thought it was funny. And there was other movies that happened to me with, and one of them I remember as a kid, I was 14, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The Pee Wee Herman movie.
I saw something on him. I think it was on. So believe it or not, when I get home and I'm trying to unwind and it's like 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning, I have all these TV channels all over the world where I can turn. But this one is in Canada. Oh, Canada. And they have really good documentaries on it. Seriously.
Right.
And one was on his life. And I'm sorry. I thought he got a raw deal. I mean, I think he was caught in the bathroom pleasuring himself.
He was caught in a movie theater.
Oh, a movie theater it was?
It was a movie theater. It was
and you talk about I'm going down, he lost everything.
Yeah, I mean, remember, he was the Pee Wee Herman TV show that was like it was for kids, and then he gets caught doing this in an adult movie theater, and it was like, oh my God. And this is the time, remember, this is like before the internet. They took everything from him. Everything.
Now, it wasn't the wisest thing in the world to do. I mean,
well, people didn't realize that he was playing a character. It was Paul Rubens playing the character of Pee Wee Herman. He wasn't like that wasn't him in real life.
Do you ever? But you shouldn't be caught masturbating in a theater. Do you have a Pee Wee Herman in you?
All right, Dominic. I know you are, but what am I, Dominic?
That's good. That's good. So, the folks calling in last night, and folks, let's not do this again tonight. I don't need a million calls on what contractions that I should try. I was supposed to lay out the chia seeds, a tablespoon of chia seeds with the warm water and then lemon in the morning if I wanted it, but I forgot. So
that was only one of your concoctions. Then what was the other?
They gave me like 8 or 9.
A cinnamon stick and a dash of ginger.
And then black pepper and
what,
Dr. Pepper.
A pig's ear and some sticks and some leaves. I mean, what are you doing here?
Hey, before I go to Angie on Long Island, I want to ask you, and then folks, I'm going to tell you about, I'm being silly now, but yet another illegal situation, this time in New Jersey. So I'm being silly now. So Matt Blaze, if it came down to the Flintstones or the Jetsons, which one?
Ooh, I'm going with the Flintstones.
The Flintstones.
Absolutely.
Why?
Fred and Barney were just a better team.
Right, Wilmer. Okay, now what if you add the honeymoons in there? The honeymooners.
Right, the honeymooners. I mean, the Flintstones is based off of the honeymooners. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Fred and Barney are based off of Norton and Camden.
Wow. Look at that. I learned something. Seriously?
Hey there,
are you pulling my leg?
Hey, Norton.
I loved his wife because she had the attitude, And he was like, what you say, Alice, bang, zoom to the moon.
To the moon, Alice. To the moon. You.
And he always did these business investments that never worked, and they could never make it out of the apartment.
Hey there, Ralphie boy.
That's good. Thanks for making me laugh, man, with the burgundy hoodie on. You like hoodies?
Yeah, well, now we're getting into that time of year where the hoodie will be gone and back to short sleeve shirts.
I'm weird. I don't like anything tight around my neck. I wear a tie and a suit, but other than that, I don't like anything tight around my neck at all.
Yeah, I like wearing layers of clothing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. So, I mean, I don't mind a short sleeve shirt, but
in case it gets chilly.
I just like layers.
Well, thank you very much, Matt Blaze, informing me that the Flintstones was based on the honeymooners. Let's get back to politics. Angie, line 1, Long Island. Angie, what's going on?
Dominic, I don't like hoodies either because it makes me claustrophobic when I go to take it off. I'm sitting here laughing.
You see, Matt Blaze? Angie agrees with me. Go ahead, Angie.
I'm just sitting here listening to your show, and it's been on my mind. How are we going to arrange to make sure when the time comes, when Trump is not in office, how are we going to arrange to keep everything, going forward?
Therein lies the problem, Angie.
I coined the phrase Trump arrangement syndrome. I coined that phrase. That's what I have because it keeps me up at night. And it almost seems like the Democrats, and I hate to wish this on anyone, do they need to lose someone close to them before they wake up and realize how serious this problem is?
I hate to admit it. Of course.
Terrible.
And see, therein lies the problem, Angie, once President Trump's term is up, because let's face it, you're not going to have a politician with as much charisma, with as much cojones, with as much to play chess and beat Democrats at every step of the way. Therein lies the problem for us. So what happens? I don't even want to think about what happens when President Trump leaves office, because frankly, Democrats are going, even if let's say J.D. Vance wins the election, right? Let's say it's Kamala against J.D. Vance. I mean, oh boy. Hey, Angie, help me out here. I want you to talk to me as a woman. As a woman, what is there appealing about Kamala Harris?
As a woman, I don't see anything appealing about her.
Okay.
Especially
I
when she
just wanted
opens
to
her
make
mouth.
sure it just wasn't me.
Especially when she opens her mouth. It's all I keep hearing is 32 days, 32 days, 32 days. That's all I hear when I see her face.
Angie, how could someone get as far as she did? Now, we know DEI.
Well, look at Mandami. How does that happen?
That's true.
Look,
well,
people
I'm
just,
not going to get
they
started
don't vote
on
with
that.
their head. They don't vote with their head. That's the problem. They don't. That's the problem.
Right.
And
right. People.
I just
don't.
want to know what. Hopefully, we get one of us in there. Otherwise, could you imagine if she would have won?
I can't begin to imagine.
No.
I can't. With Governor Dum Dum as the vice president?
Oh, forget it. I can't believe he hasn't been indicted yet. I can't believe it. But it is what it is.
We'll see.
Forward.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get this guy. I don't understand his ideas. I don't understand his idea of tampons in the boys' bathroom. I don't get all the lies that he told. And then he turned around and said, I think he said, I'm a dum-dum or something. He said something to try and get away with the fact that he tells numerous lies. I don't understand how in the middle of rioting.
My wife says, he said my wife says I'm a jackass or something. He blew it. I was actually glad she picked him for her running mate because that kind of sealed the deal for her. It made me nervous last night when you told me Michelle Obama, but now she's not going to consider.
Oh, you don't have to worry about her. You don't have to worry about her ever running.
No.
She just doesn't have the temperament. She doesn't have it.
No, she doesn't.
And I can't see her winning an election. I just can't. I just can't. I don't want to get into, stereotypes and so on, but she's quite angry. I mean, I don't know what she's so angry about. To have the lifestyle that she has had in terms of, a chief of staff, a full Secret Service detail, which she still receives on and on and on and on and on. And she's so angry. I mean, I don't know.
Have that for life, right?
Say that again,
for life,
please.
Secret Service.
Yeah, I believe she gets it for life. I know that
For
President Obama does. I don't know, Angie, but yeah. So I was great until you just reminded me that there is going to come a day when President Trump leaves office. And,
I know.
I just can't even fathom that. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So you know what? So you know what, Angie, and ending this call, maybe we should do it this way in terms of appreciate what you have and live in the moment, because again, almost a little less than 3 years, and President Trump will be gone from office. I mean, and forever as president, and that's a sad thought because I just think that the man is phenomenal and may go down in history as the greatest president ever. I agree. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the call. Before we get to the next call, I want to focus on, this is a Fox News report. An illegal, yet again, accused of running over a pedestrian with his truck and leaving him to die on the road. And this happened in New Jersey.
Right now, they're trying to figure out where this guy is in the state of New Jersey or elsewhere. There's this ongoing manhunt, and it comes as the New Jersey governor limits just how much police can work with ICE agents there in the Garden State. But right now, both agencies are trying to track down an illegal migrant accused of leaving a man on the road to die. So DHS says this is who they're looking for. Wilson Adrian Morocho Necta. He ran over a guy in Morristown, New Jersey just last week. And then, Sandra, he ran off. He left this 68-year-old man pinned underneath his truck, and that man later died. This is him, Justo Pilko Tenesaka. So he was rushed to the hospital there in New Jersey. He didn't make it. Lumped into the country illegally from Ecuador. If we can pull up his picture as well. And he crossed into the United States at the southern border back in 2019. He was deported, but DHS says he just came right back in again. So the search is going on as the governor there, Mikey Sherrill, adds new restrictions on ICE agents, including a ban on the agents wearing masks.
The United States of America, we're not going to tolerate masked roving militias pretending pretending to be well-trained law enforcement agents.
So DHS tells Fox the attempt to ban federal law enforcement here from wearing masks in New Jersey is reckless, it's dangerous and irresponsible. DHS says they're not going to listen to Governor Sherrill, so we'll see what happens next. Maybe Governor Sherrill will see those ICE agents at the Newark airport and talk to them there, Sandra.
Yeah, exactly. Alexis, thank you very much.
Isn't that just wonderful? A man hit by a car by an illegal, pinned under the car, the illegal bolts away. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 1, Sandra, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Well, I was thinking about Michelle Obama. I was thinking, look, when we strive for things, if I got this, I would be happy. If I got that, I would be happy. So we keep hoping something's going to make us happy, but it must be very hard when someone has everything and they look and they're not happy. That means there's something inside her that she has to face. She has to face it, trace it, and erase it. But usually when you don't have all these things, you could keep going. If I only got this, then I'd be happy. If I got that. But she has it all, and she's not happy. So, that's painful, I would think.
So, Sandra, are you telling me you're a rapper?
What do you mean by that?
DJ Sandra just said you got to face it, Matt Blaze, trace it, and erase it.
I believe in that. So she has to look at herself hard in the mirror.
We're making you a rapper now, Sandra. You want to be a rapper?
Face it, trace it, and
then you erase it.
Matt likes to tease me. I don't know why.
Well, we're making you a rapper. You could be the female Jay-Z and make a ton of money.
I don't know.
And I know the cinnamon. What is it? The cinnamon sticks and what is it again? The ginger and
the cloves. They're little teeny balls in a jar. The cloves. Dominic, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, I want to talk about something one day on the radio with you. It's very, very. It boggles my mind what's happening in China. It's about human harvesting, what they're doing to people alive. They're alive and they're in their cells waiting for their turn to come to be picked to do this terrible thing. I want to talk about this. It's a real thing that's happening. And when people criticize this country and our president, and when they only would know what's going on in other countries like communist China, like if you don't agree with their religion, you get arrested, you go into jail, they take your blood, they assess your body, all the organs that you have, and then there are 169 hospitals that will tell you in a week and a half you can have what you need, and you just pay the money, and all these people in the cells are going to get called next to die. Now, this is frightening to me, Dominic, and there's a book out about it.
Hey, Sandra, I'm 2 minutes late for a break, but why is it frightening to you when it doesn't happen here?
Well, it's happening there. Why these people shouldn't have to have this happen to them? It's people.
Okay, fair point. Well, we have to do that another time because I'm late for a break.
To. Okay.
But thank you for the call, Sandra, and we are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Fox News is now streaming live on Fox One. When it matters most, turn to the voices you trust. We go beyond the headlines, bringing you the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Live coverage, sharp analysis, real perspective. At home or on the go, stay connected when it counts. Stream Fox News on Fox One. Download today.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Matt Blaze, you will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay, Denzel Washington says, when I get through with you. Did you see Training Day?
Damn, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, Godzilla ain't got nothing on me.
King Kong ain't
what he
got
said?
nothing on me.
See, I don't even
I think
remember.
it's King Kong. I think it's King Kong.
it's
Yeah,
Godzilla.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah.
We got to put that part in there.
Yeah, we got to get that.
So you know what? Before I go to Oscar and oh boy, we're running short on time. But DMS says, Dominic, it's gonna be in the upper 70s. The next 2 days, which means all the trees will be releasing pollen. Better get up to your allergist. Thank you, DMS, for reminding me to go get 3 shots in each arm. I'm not doing it. But I love walking around in this type of weather. Woo-wee. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go to Oscar in New York, line 3. What's on your mind, Oscar?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Carter. I'm listening to your show today, right? And I'm just wondering, like, a person that's, that's a very good mentor and role model, the owner of the station, why doesn't he just recruit or sponsor a person, like a candidate that he could recruit, like a college student or somebody, sponsor him and build him to be the next mayor of New York City? I mean,
right, but that would be years and years from now. But I'm sure,
like a franchise mayor, right? A franchise mayor,
but I am sure that the Republican Party is going to take the next race for mayor in New York City. It's a blue city, but they're going to take it much more seriously and not just give the nomination to a candidate to go embarrass himself. So I think that's going to be the case. Matt Blaze, what are you going to do? Thank you for the call, Oscar, in this warm weather. Thank you. What are you going to do? 70s. What are you going to do?
Turn on my air conditioning. That's what I'm going to do.
Turn off the heat in your house, right?
Yeah.
Turn the AC.
I'll turn.
Yeah,
I almost
I
turned
like
it
to
on
walk
today.
around. Oh, I love to walk around in weather like this. I'm just going to leave it at that. We're just going to leave it at that.
Why, though?
Where's your girl, DMS? I ain't tell. Those that know don't tell, and those that tell don't know. I like the sights. Let's just leave it at that. I like the sights. The ladies, my brother, the ladies. Beautiful sights in weather like this. I'm back 3 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.